Guess what season it is?
Is it the season of hauntingness?
It's spooky season. This is the week leading up to Halloween. Oh,
Is it that close? Oh, I have so much to
yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's that close. So I decided to bring a pocket full of sound effects because they amuse me.
Real-time
Hello,
fun times
James.
with Kelly
Hello.
and James.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you again for joining us today. And, oh, it's going to be a spooky, scary show. So spooky. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week coming to you from Seattle, Washington, home of the rolling brownout. Did you get your power out last night, Kelly?
Last night, a little bit this morning. Yeah, we had, what is it called? A bomb cyclone came through the area
Oh
up and
yeah,
down the
it
West
came
Coast.
and dropped the bomb of weather on us last night.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Lots of wind, flickering power, definitely power out. Our power wasn't out that long last night. It was out a little bit longer this morning, but it wasn't too bad. How about you?
We were at the dining room table at about 2 o'clock yesterday and the lights were flickering, and we heard a little pop and saw a flash of light and thought, oh, somebody's transformer just went out. And then about 15 minutes later, ours blew 3 times. And the reason that
Oh,
that was good, from where I was sitting, I could actually see the explosions of the neighborhood transformer as they went off. These bright
oh,
green metallic flashes of light, pop,
yeah,
would happen,
yeah.
and then the lights would go off, and then they surged back to life. And I said, look over there, watch, it's going to do it again, puff. So the whole family got to see this green explosion two more times before it finally went dead for 12 hours. It went out until
Ugh.
about 2 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. No, we didn't have anything that long at all. So, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad, there wasn't any tree
Yes, we're
falling on your
we're all
house or
fine
anything like that.
here. The
We're
frozen
fine. We're
foods are
fine here.
fine.
Yes. So when the wind comes, the trees fall. Oh, oh, spooky season.
That's the sound of spookiness coming to you live from Kelly's phone. Do you know that in the
Oh, it's a
movies they
high
actually have
production.
props that don't make noise? They have paper bags that aren't paper so that they
Hmm.
can keep all of those sound effects to like give to the Foley guy later and put back in.
Yeah, yes, footfall, all sorts of stuff. And there's all sorts of what's called looping, in regards to going in and doing dialogue over because the wind noise was too much or there was too much
Right.
ambient noise
Often
on the
you'll have
street.
to
So
re-record the dialogue if perhaps you decided that your movie only deserves a PG-13 rating and you have to take a couple of F-bombs out of there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, Kelly, it's time for our opening segment, Conversation Starter, sponsored this week by Gastronomically Correct. Tonight's Conversation Starter comes from a list of funny conversation starters from the old, reliable internet. Kelly, what's something popular that annoys you? Now, don't say me. I'm the answer to all your questions,
No,
absolutely. But aside from
no.
me, if you don't think about me, you
Something.
don't take me into account, what's something popular that annoys you?
This is a tough one. Something popular that annoys me. Something popular that annoys me. I don't know. I honestly don't have an off the cuff answer for that one. You?
I don't know if this is recently popular or if it's been a scourge for all time, but I'm getting more annoyed by casual criticism. That is, someone saying of, for instance, the latest Dune movie, that it's terrible because they read the books and they imagine sand completely differently, and so bad sand, 2 stars. Like, man, give the man a break.
Oh, I guess.
I've
I
had,
guess. Okay.
there you go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, no, no.
What
Finish your thought. I
is
interrupted.
something
What?
popular that annoys you?
It is the term cap for lying. That's cap.
Oh,
Factor cap. And so it's all over. It's all over. It's all over the TikTok. Cap. That's cap.
when I
It's the
was in
slang for
high
the kids.
school,
Yeah.
capping was throwing insults.
Nope. This means you're lying.
Yeah,
Cap.
that's different.
Factor cap. I guess it's those darn teenagers with their newfangled language.
Language is evolving all the time, and old farts like us have had just about enough of it.
That didn't work.
Janice, Janice, tell us about your popular pet peeve if you have one, and while you're at it, please check out the Here All Week Patreon page, wherever great links are found.
There. Now it's working. Now it's working. James, I can tell by your background, you're in the area.
I am in the area, the Seattle area. I am back in my basement for the next 6 weeks, grinding out game products through my game production studio. Crab Fragment Labs. I see you've got some appropriately basementy sounds for me there. The gruesome ghosts of Miller Street.
I'll be annoying the audience. Oh, I think I already am annoying the audience already, so doesn't matter. Because this whole storm that hit the West Coast. Let me pull up the information. Basically, a storm in California broke records in regards to rainfall in one point, and then there's a huge other storm that's coming in the east, basically threatening about 70 million Americans on the eastern U.S. So they've got some severe weather coming.
They're having a nor'easter up in the northeast.
Yep.
Well, they shouldn't have moved there. That's where they have them.
Yeah, rate of rainfall could top 1 inch per hour at times. That's a lot of water, folks.
That's buckets of water.
Yeah, flash flooding concerns from Massachusetts to New Jersey. Flash flood watches are in effect. So you can't get there from here if it's covered in water. Water is
Speaking of
wet.
obscene weather events, have you seen that new Dune movie?
You know, I started watching it yesterday, but I started watching it yesterday when I was too sleepy. So I am going to pick it up again this evening. But
it'll put you to sleep. Dune movies do have a way of putting you to sleep.
Well, you have to be awake, first of all. It's a good way to watch a movie, is be awake.
It's that Kyle MacLachlan voiceover that does it for me. The worms, the spice. Is there a connection?
It's a pro tip from me to you. Stay awake for a movie. But visually, it looks lovely. I mean, talk about production, costuming, great. And the voice, you know how they use the voice, the House Atreides.
When they go super guttural and tell each other what to do. Come over here.
Lady Jessica. Yeah, Lady Jessica is with Paul at the breakfast table, and she's saying,
Pass
use
the
the voice.
salt. Give me the salt now.
It's very bone chilling on how it is. They do a great job. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. So there you go. That's what I got.
Well, warm up your bones because there's more chilling to come.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. Let's see. What else is going on? Apparently, there's a couple people that are rolling on the senators about the January 6th incident where they're saying, oh, no, there was a blanket pardon put in place.
And they had dozens of meetings to plan for that thing, which it's rather embarrassing how poorly it went off considering how much planning went into it.
Exactly. So, yes, so people are now starting to roll over and start telling the truth and start outing people is what they're doing. So
it's too little, too late. As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump has already won the 2024 presidential election, and he'll be president for the rest of our lives.
No. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. James, you ever been attacked by a bear?
I have never personally been attacked by a bear, although I've seen it happen in movies, and it looks gruesome.
It does. Well, a cyclist survived an attack from a 500-pound bear by kicking the animal after it charged towards him. He was riding alone in Cantwell, Alaska. And basically, he told the troopers, let me get this right. He was riding his bike when he spotted a large brown bear about 10 to 15 yards away, sprinting toward him. Okay, so apparently he looked very snack-like to this bear. He told the troopers he jumped off his bike and began yelling at the bear. Before the bear made contact, the victim lay on the ground, covered his head, possibly kicking the bear in the process. The bear then bit his leg below the knee.
Ugh.
Bear made one contact, one bite, and immediately retreated into the vegetation, the same way it approached. So maybe
because
it was a game
bicyclists
of bear
don't
tag.
have a lot of meat on them. That's the real
I guess
thing.
not.
The bear was like, never
But I'm
mind, this
thinking-
is not worth it.
I'm thinking it's more like bear tag.
Oh, you think he's
you're
just
it.
taking coup?
Yeah, you're it. And then he runs into the woods. Yeah.
I don't know. If I had a bicycle and a bear was coming at me, I think the first thing I wouldn't do is get off of it.
Well,
I
I think
can
the
a bike
cyclist
go faster than a bear?
depends on the terrain that the bike is on, depends on the fitness of the rider, because bears are a hell of a lot faster than you think they are. And
guess so.
hungry and determined, they will definitely take you down. So no, he was smart enough to get off because he would eventually tire out. Maybe the bear would tire out. I'm talking about this like I know this. I don't. I don't.
Allow me to opine about bear attacks, having never been the victim of or caused
Never?
a bear attack on my own.
Nope. Never, never, never. Let's see. This past week for me here was work. We have some changes happening at work. My manager is moving on to another company. That makes me sad because he was a really great guy. I really liked working for him. But I understand an opportunity came up for him where his passion really lies. So he is moving on. So I'm kind of in limbo right now. I'm going to be put under the care of another manager for right now until new leadership is found. So if you're interested in anything that may offer this team, you can just email me and we can talk about it. But I can't say where I work and I can't tell you what I do on this podcast. I can't. Curious?
It's not in my nature to be mysterious, but I can't talk about it. I can't talk about why.
I can't talk about it. Oh, James, a couple of shows ago you were talking about thinking about if you were going to take a job or not.
Oh, that's right. No, I did not take a job. I did go as far as reading the job descriptions and sort of filtering them through my tiny little brain and deciding that it just wasn't worth poking at any of them. None of them was exactly what I wanted to do, but I did at least take the step of sending in my resume, and who knows, before the end of time, I may actually have another job.
Oh, okay. Is this something you want? I mean,
Nope.
does anybody really want
No,
it?
not nobody ever wants a job. I think that's what we're raised to believe, is that it's not a job if you don't hate it. And so we sort of sit through a lot of punishing years doing things we don't like to do and counting our paychecks. And I may be tired of that. I'm in a comfortable position right now. So and that's not like I can live for the rest of my life without a job, but man, I don't want to just take anything that comes along, because I remember that feeling of hating working. And I lack the motivation to do that for money. I would have to do it because I love it.
Because you love it. Exactly. I also forgot this past weekend. I went around the sun yet again, and I, like you, turned 53 on Saturday.
Happy Sun Cycle Day.
Thank you. Thank you. We had a lovely dinner at a local steakhouse. And I had never had, and that's why I ordered it, because there's two different types there's dry aged and there's wet aged beef.
Oh, they submerge it, don't they? They keep it in a vat of brine for 30 days, and it's attacked by pythons and other small fish and so forth. I have no idea what wet aged beef is. I know what dry aged beef is. I've walked by the refrigerator case at Gallagher's with all the sort of, time stamped meat modules. You can see how it gets slowly less and less enthusiastic over the course of 30 days.
Yeah, exactly. But this was one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life. I mean, like butter. So basically, wet aged beef, as I go to the handy dandy Googler, hang on, beep boop boop pop beep pop pop.
In case you're curious, we don't know anything until we Google it, just like you can do at home.
Let's see. Once wet aged beef, one must understand how the process begins. Once the steak has been placed in a cryovac sealed bag or a sealed plastic bag, it is placed in a refrigerated room for at least 3 weeks as it begins to tenderize. There you go.
Okay. How is that different from dry aging? You don't put anything else in the bag with the meat? So I guess it steeps in its own juices rather than in a dry aging facility. I suppose that some of those juices evaporate.
I would think so. With dry aged beef, that crust forms over it, and then
maybe the microbes are in there and chewing around, and they spit out slightly tastier beef. I guess I'm not sure how any of that works. All I know is no matter how much you cook it, it still tastes good, and that's the way I like it.
It was really a great cut of steak. So this information was shown at mychicagosteak.com under their page called Steak University. There you go. I'll include a link if you want.
Well, we have a slight nod to the well cooked steak in our trivia list later this afternoon.
Oh,
won't that be exciting?
Speaking of well cooked steaks, why don't we talk about our sponsor?
Good idea.
Let them talk to us.
Oh, no. Where is it?
Got it. We interrupt this episode of Here All Week to join a very special episode of Gastronomically Correct with Daniel Burnwater.
Thanks, Kelly. Welcome back to Gastronomically Correct. I'm Daniel Burnwater, and tonight my guest is Loa Moss-Manser, the inventor of Carny Veg. Loa, welcome.
Hello, Daniel. It's a pleasure to be here.
Loa, tell us a little bit about your amazing product.
Well, Daniel, Carny Veg is the world's first vegetable substitute made entirely from meat. It's all lips, ends, and butts.
Butts. Sounds delicious.
It is. Take a look. These carrots, salad, and baked potato are all made from nothing but animal byproducts.
So, Carny Veg looks like vegetables, but comes from meat. What gave you this great idea?
Daniel, as a teenager, I never liked eating vegetables. I was a total meat and cheese girl.
Me too, Loa.
I liked the taste of vegetables, I guess, but I couldn't get over the feeling that nothing had suffered to become my meal.
I know that feeling. It seems like vegetables almost want to be eaten.
Right? For my money, food has to suffer some inhumane factory farm cruelty before it is ruthlessly slaughtered and brought to my plate.
Right there with you, Loa. As the old saying goes, the sheep spends its life in fear of the wolf, only to be killed by the shepherd.
Exactly. But what does corn live in fear of?
I don't know. Nothing? The corn man?
Exactly. The corn man. Corn has no enemies. Wheat never suffers. And the lowly potato stares into the void, feeling nothing, welcoming death.
So, tell me more about these Carny Veg delights.
Well, first, we have some tantalizing boiled carrots in a red wine sauce. But the carrots are actually made from North American cottontail rabbit.
Carrots? Rabbit? I love it!
Right? Next, we have a classic Caesar salad. But the lettuce, croutons, and dressing are all made from parts of the American pelican duck.
Amazing. What about the anchovies?
Those are actually a mix of real anchovies, plus some fried duck feet.
Oh, yum. Now tell me about this buttery baked potato.
Well, the bacon and sour cream are the real deal, but the chives are actually tiny calamari dyed green. The potato skin is flame-kissed chicken powder, and the creamy potato center is made from whipped pork resin.
Wow, I didn't know pigs had resin.
It's actually double distilled fat, rendered from the finest Kentucky ham. It's got the texture of whipped honey and the sweet, sweet taste of cruelty.
With a feast as health unconscious as this one, I'm not surprised that Carny Veg is outselling its competitors by 5-1.
Thanks, Daniel. Carny Veg is the tastiest, cruelest vegetable substitutes around.
I have to ask, Loa, what's next for Carny Veg?
Well, Daniel, we're always looking for new ways to turn meat byproducts into healthy-looking food. My partner, Dragon, is currently looking for ways to turn our random floor sweepings into delicious shakes and smoothies.
A byproduct smoothie. I can hardly wait.
Yum, they are the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today on Gastronomically Correct, and thanks to my guest, Loa Moss-Manser, the creator of Carny Veg.
Lips, ends, and butts, the meatiest vegetables in town.
Join us next week for a return to unsustainable fishing.
We also do steaks.
I bet you do
I don't know where that
steaks.
character came from. Where did that come from?
I know where mine came from. I was doing I put it in the script, and of course I've deleted the script, but
Sure.
what's his name from The Simpsons? One of those Simpsons characters.
Homer?
Dr. Marvin Monroe.
Oh, Dr. Marvin.
I'm just trying really hard not to turn that into Dr. Gilbert Gottfried, which is close, but slightly higher.
Because, there were a couple of doctors on the Simpsons. Dr. Marvin and Dr. Nick. Hello, I'm Dr. Nick. I went to upstairs Hollywood Medical College. So... Oh, I love Dr. Nick. So, I have to ask
Where
you,
was
James.
Dr. Nick for the Loa Moss-Manser voice? That
I know.
sounds so good.
Hello, I'm
I love
Dr.
these
Nick.
weird tasting meat things.
Since Halloween is approaching, I have to ask you, are you expecting any kids this year?
No,
At
I
all?
am not pregnant and haven't been for many years.
Good for you. I'm glad you're using protection. No, beggars. In
Yeah,
costume. On
I
your
guess
porch.
that's one possible interpretation of that. God, no. I mean, I don't think we had any trick-or-treaters last year. I think we, left the house dark and hid in the basement. I think we will probably do that again this year. I don't feel like trick-or-treating is the thing. Maybe we'll be very lucky and it'll be torrential rainstorm on Halloween, and then the kids can sit at home and eat their own candy.
Well, I know the big thing has been happening as of late. I think probably the last 5, 6, maybe 7 years is that it's the mall begging. They go to the mall indoors.
Ah, that sounds
So
great. Yeah.
They beg from the stores, and where we live in a townhome, we don't get anybody. So, and that just breaks my heart because this is the high holy day where
I
Kelly
don't
gets to
believe
take
it's
her
technically
her
correct to call it
form.
begging. I think it's trick-or-treating, sure, or going out in costume. That's a good word. Begging seems
but it's-
awfully pejorative, don't you think?
Well, okay, so trick or treating, but yes, it's we call it begging. Let's go begging. Let's go begging for candy, please, sir. May I have one more? So no, I wear a costume on Halloween, even though I have no I'm not going out, but I still dress in costume for that evening because I enjoy it. And
I
this
enjoy
year,
dressing in costume. Absolutely. I've been dressing in costume since I was a young tot and still love it.
Me too. Me too. I still love it. So this year I'm taking a cue from my sister. She and her husband do a Halloween display every year, and this year they're doing the Hanson brothers from Slapshot. So they've got 3 skeletons on their front lawn with the Chiefs jerseys on, the glasses, the tin foil on their skeleton hands. Putting on the foil, coach. And they're so that's that. So I am going to be one of the Hanson brothers this year. So I'm going to be the younger one, 18, number 18 on the back. So I got the
Awesome.
wig for the shaggy hair. I got the horn-rimmed glasses. And yes, my sister said you can't forget to put foil on your hands. So that's what I'm going to do. So for those of you who have no reference, you can easily look up Hanson Brothers foil scene on YouTube and you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah,
Well,
you don't
Kelly,
like
would you
hockey,
like some trivia
maybe not.
questions?
sure.
I don't have a Halloween trivia for you. Maybe next week.
Okay.
But this week, The Worms and the Spice. Fans of the new Desert Worm science fiction movie may be aware that deserts are a real thing. Here are 8 trivia questions about the driest places on Earth and elsewhere. Are you ready? Question 1.
Ready as
The
I'll ever
climate
be.
of the Sahara Desert has undergone enormous variations over time, in part caused by a 41,000-year cycle in the Earth's what?
Oh, 41,000 year cycle in the Earth's atmosphere.
The answer is the Earth's axial tilt.
Okay, there you go. Right there with the
The
atmosphere.
tilt of the axis wobbles between 22 and 24.5 degrees every few dozen thousand years. It's predicted
okay.
that the Sahara will be green again in just under 15,000 years.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go visit the Green Sahara when we're 15,053 years
1,000
old.
years old.
Question 2. Like Arrakis in Dune, this parched desert planet in the Star Wars universe also has sand people, giant underground creatures with millions of teeth, and even a dune sea. What is this planet called?
That is Tatooine.
That is Tatooine, the childhood home of Luke Skywalker. This desert planet has echoes of Frank Herbert in every sandy corner. Question 3. Which southern continent contains the largest desert on the planet Earth?
Southern continent, largest desert.
Planet Earth.
Planet Earth. Southern continent, largest desert, planet Earth. That would be Africa?
That would be Antarctica.
Oh my God, really? Is Africa
According to
southern?
the wiki,
Well,
it does not rain or snow a lot in Antarctica, and the entire continent is therefore a desert. And this is my favorite
Oh.
part. When it snows, the snow does not melt and builds up over many years to make large, thick sheets of ice called ice sheets.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
technical.
Yeah, that's technical
So,
terms right there.
So I was showing my dumbness in maps. Africa, is that north of the equator? I
Well-
mean, doesn't the equator run through it?
It does run through it. I think the majority of Africa is north of the equator, but that wouldn't make that the answer to this question because
Oh, I know that.
Antarctica
I know
is
that.
still
but I'm
even
just-
an even bigger desert than those found in Africa. Question 4.
Got it.
The
Yes.
Anasazi people of the southwestern United States are best known for their stone and earth desert villages, also known as what?
Oh my God, James. Oh, my nun teachers are rolling in their graves. I don't
Yes,
know.
indeed. They're called pueblos.
Oh, there you go.
Pueblos.
Pueblo.
The Anasazi, the name Anasazi has come to mean ancient people, although the word itself is Navajo, meaning enemy ancestors. Those
Oh, okay.
bastards.
All right.
Question 5. I hope your instructors are listening now. Question 5.
God.
Also called ships of the desert, these humpback pack animals can survive more than a week without food or water.
Those would be camels or
Those would be
dromedaries, if
camels.
you want.
I'm taking the easy fork on this choose your own trivia adventure. Camels also reclaim most of the moisture from their own breath by trapping the water vapor in their nostrils. They are like walking still suits.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, camels are. If there's any way you can think of to reclaim your own moisture, the camels have thought of it already.
The camels have developed that tech.
Question 6. The hottest temperature reliably recorded on planet Earth was this summer in what desert place?
That would be the Mojave.
I think that's right. It's Death Valley, California.
Yeah.
Is that in the Mojave? I didn't look it up.
Yes, it
In a place called Furnace Creek, where the high temperature reached 130 degrees Fahrenheit on July 9th of this year. That's the internal temperature of a medium rare steak. Being so recent, this record isn't verified, but neither is the even higher official world record of 134 degrees recorded in the same location in 1913.
That's crazy.
Question 7. What is the only other planet in our solar system on which deserts have been identified?
That would be Mars.
That would be Mars. The surface of Titan, a moon of Saturn, also has a desert-like surface with dune seas. And question 8. Indiana Jones finds the Holy Grail at the end of his last crusade, or his second to last crusade, or God help me, his third to last crusade now, in an ancient desert site called Petra, where the buildings are carved into stone cliffs. In what nation is Petra located?
Oh my God. That's it, James. I quit.
France?
France.
It's France.
Belgium?
Dad, is
Belgium?
it France? The answer is the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan. Petra is in a valley that runs from the Dead Sea to the Gulf of Aqaba. The place has been inhabited for more than 9,000 years. Thanks for joining us on this desert romp through the driest places in this world and others. How do we get through the whole desert trivia challenge without mentioning Las Vegas? It's a Halloween miracle. Blah, blah, blah. Sponsor, blah, blah, blah. Patreon. And so forth.
Yes, my knowledge of this type of trivia is awful.
Well, I try to go
Just
all
a-
over the place for you. Is there a chainsaw happening in your house? Oh no, I see.
Well,
Of course.
It's just getting
Yes.
scary.
I was
It's just
fooled
getting
by
spooky again.
the realistic sounds emanating from your telephone.
Oh, I know. Let's see. We'll do this one is called Space Terror. Are you scared?
Welcome back to Here All Week, folks, and it's time for you to be terrified by the realistic sounds coming out of Kelly's telephone.
So bad. I don't even have a soundboard in my studio. I just have a phone. God darn it.
You know what would be
God
more
darn it.
terrifying than any of that is a recording of a job interview. So, Kelly, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh God, please no. No. I just don't. Not here.
What? Not here.
Not here. Why? What about you?
I once described a job at an ice cream shop as kind of a bad job that I was interviewing for, and they didn't really take that very well. It's like, well, it's not a great job. It doesn't pay great. It doesn't require a lot of skills. I'm doing it because I need a part-time job with flexible hours. Why should you want me to pretend it's great? I didn't last very long. I got the job, but then I didn't like it.
Well, that's the one you said when you were young and your metabolism was much faster that you ate ice cream all the time.
I would eat a pint on my way home from work, but I mean, that was also a 45-minute walk, so I was getting the exercise too.
Oh, cool. Well, a pint of ice cream on your way home from work sounds lovely.
I had
It
a pint
sure
of ice cream
does.
for lunch. I mean, because there was the chance the power might go out again and everything in the freezer could melt. So I'd better eat
Oh,
that.
no, that's right. Save it. Save yourself and save the ice cream. My house is not decorated for Halloween. My sister does decorate. James, I don't see anything spooky behind you. Any decorating going on?
Well, no one comes down here but me, and the basement is already full of actual spiders. We did put some great big paper spiders on our front door. From the front, our house looks very Halloween ready. And on the interior, it's mix and match. We do have some Lego haunted houses in the living room, decorating that space, and that may be the full extent of our decorations. I don't think we're going to any costume parties. Nora has a birthday the day before Halloween, so I believe she'll have some friends over for that. They will be celebrating by playing Jackbox and banning me from the room. So that's
Okay.
how we observe. But that's
Okay,
about it.
that's great.
What about you? What are you doing for Halloween
Yeah.
proper?
Well, Halloween proper, I am taking a group of people out to go to neighborhoods and driving to neighborhoods, basically, and letting the kids jump out and roam and take care of that and get their
Take
get
care of their
goods.
business.
Take care of the
It's
business.
like letting
get
the
their
dogs
goods.
out to pee. All right, kids, go out there, hit the houses, do your business, fill up your bags, come home quick.
Come home quick. So yeah, but and then in the evening, just dinner and enjoy. I'm planning on watching the rest of Dune on that night. So
I think
that's-
we'll
that's my
probably indulge
Halloween
in a
plan.
holiday favorite, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I believe that's a good Halloween and Christmas movie combined, but I
Oh,
think it's the time
That's a great
here.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, folks, hello, my dirty dozens. Folks, thanks so much for joining us today. As always, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and you can join our Patreon. Throw a little buckage our way. It'll help us defray the costs of the operation of the show. The budget is huge,
pay
and
for these
I'm floating the whole
microphones.
thing. I'm floating the whole thing, folks. Let's see. Be kind. Be kind to yourself, your family, your neighbors, your community. We are all going through it. Stay safe. If you're going to go out trick-or-treating, make sure you're wearing at least something that's visible, like flashlights, reflective tape, a glow stick. Just make sure you watch the street and stuff like that. Watch the cars in the street. They aren't necessarily watching for you. Thanks again. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week.